This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Rhythm. Head over to rhythm.com, and they are also giving away a $250 future and throwing a March Madness party. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for details. Plus, head to the SGPN store for Merch Madness. There's a 20% off discount code, promo code Madness. Head over to that store and get in. And also, SGPN is giving away $2,000 in a free March Madness bracket. Sign up today by sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bracket. All right, it's time to get into the Players Championship. Actually, the fifth major, we call like the Honda Classic or like the Mexico Open or like some random event, the fifth major, but this is actually the fifth major. So I'm excited to talk about it. Dom, thank you for joining me, and let's talk some players.
Yeah, for sure. I think that my favorite part of this pod now is that you have a different backdrop every single time. So definitely traveling around the state this time of year. So that's
good thing. Every week, new location, new course, but that's what we got to do. Get the boots, get to see who's doing what, and you know the drill. So TPC Sawgrass, a course that we've seen a ton. So tell me a little bit about Sawgrass. What are you looking for in a golfer when you're looking to make some bets ahead of the week?
Yeah, I mean, basically the same type of stuff, except for I think course history means a little bit less because whatever website you use to kind of look at course history, like as a whole down the odds board, like nobody tears it up every single year here. It's not like a guy who's got 5 straight top 20s. Like you just don't see it as much. I mean, before Scottie's back-to-back wins, his course history was miscut T55. So it's like it's kind of all over the place. Definitely looking at approach. I think you can look at off the tee, but maybe lean a little bit more towards accuracy than distance. But yeah, like I said, I'm really going to hone into these approach numbers and some of these different buckets. Like, I mean, in my model, I put 125 to 200. So kind of spreading it out a little bit, but definitely want to look at the approach numbers. So what about you?
And although it is like a massive week, a massive event, it's a pretty quintessential Florida golf course. It's the same from PGA National to even Valspar. Bay Hill's a little bit different, but at the end of the day, you want to hit fairways. If you're missing fairways, you can get away with missing fairways, but if you're missing fairways big, pack your bags, go to Jacksonville National, just forget it, go home. Because there's water, there is a ton of trouble, and that goes to show with what you said. Like, guys come in here with some poor course history and still make it happen because one little swing can really derail your week. You got to be dialed through the bag. You got to have it going all along. Did you see the tweet I posted about the hole 6, the new tree on hole 6?
No.
There's an overhanging tree on hole 6 that basically takes every single club out of your bag except for like a Gary Woodland low stinger. Like, you have to hit a shot no more than like 20 feet high and get. I mean, it's not a driver hole no matter what. Like, it's always a less than driver hole, so it'll work out. But it's hilarious. So look after the pod. Look at my tweet at the visual from 6T. It's crazy.
I will. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I haven't been on my phone much at all today, so.
All right, so let's get into the odds board. Obviously, Scottie's the favorite. And before we get into the rest of the names, because I know you're probably not betting Scottie Scheffler, are you considering any like without Scottie markets? Because I've went there a few times this year.
No.
Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't. Even last year, I never did. I mean, obviously, hasn't won yet this year, but that week. What was the week we were doing without Scottie Rory markets?
That was last week.
No, the one.
And then Bay Hill. Not Bay Hill. Genesis, Torrey Pines.
Yes. And obviously they were both right up there the whole week. So that was definitely a week where I was like, wow, I should have done that. But no, I'm not really considering it. But obviously when you get someone who's won back-to-back times here, definitely shop around, and if you find decent value on a certain guy with a no Scottie market, I think it definitely makes sense here.
Yeah, I think he's a lock for all my DFS lineups because there's just courses that you go to as a golfer where you just feel comfortable, and Scottie Scheffler around TPC Sawgrass is that golfer. The dude just, I mean, back-to-back wins. It makes a ton of sense. But even outside of that, deeper into that, he just looks the part. Looks like he belongs around Sawgrass, and it definitely makes sense for him to keep parlaying that energy into this year. So let's move down from Scottie, because this is a betting show. We're here to make some outright selections to try and beat this monster, Scottie Scheffler. We have Colin Morikawa, Ludwig Aubert, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, and then Xander Schauffele. The next big few names before we get into the high 20s and 30s. It's a big event. A big name usually wins this event. Are you looking at any of these guys? Are you considering anyone around from 10 to 22?
I haven't finalized my card yet, but the two that have popped up the most for me are Morikawa and Justin Thomas. Morikawa rates out extremely well. I think it's pretty clear that he had just about everything this past week, just couldn't get it done. Kind of what we've seen before. I just don't know. I think the number's too short at 14. Looks like you can get a 14 in most places, but yeah, I think that's a little too short. I'd like to see what the market is without Scottie, but Morikawa is definitely intriguing to me this week.
Are you worried with Colin's ability to win a golf tournament?
I should be. Especially, I mean, it was pretty much over until Henley chipped in last week. And Colin was just kind of not going through the motions, but he was kind of coasting. Like, I don't know. He wasn't playing bad by any means, but he did nothing.
He didn't go
special.
out and get it. Yeah, I agree with you. He didn't go out and win that tournament. Yeah, I think that's a major concern. I really do.
So it's hard to say. That's the only reason that this number's makes me a little bit hesitant. I'd obviously like to see it a little bit closer to 20, especially in this type of field, like everyone's playing, obviously. So, like I said, I'm not. I like what I saw. He led the field in ball striking, like everything was there. But like you said, Sunday he didn't go get it. He let the field come to him. Like he was just parring everything, putting an approach on the green, 2 putts onto the next hole, and it was just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not like I love Justin Thomas that much more. So, like, I mean, these guys are just all losers outside of Scottie. But I think Ludwig, like, we don't know how high his ceiling is yet. Like, if he wins 3 times this season, no one would be surprised looking back on it. So, if I'm high on a guy, I'm going to give him a chance. And this is a golf course where I don't think it's the best perfect Ludwig golf course, but if he's minting fairways, he's going to be long, and we've seen him get really hot with the wedges. I mean, you win an RSM Classic, you got to hit some good wedge shots, and I think it's really going to play close to that. I think you're really going to have your foot on the gas, make birdies in some soft conditions, and Ludwig is not scared to do that. And I think the number is fair from the 16 to 18 to 20 range. So I think at the top of the board, if I have to go somewhere, I think I'm going to go with Ludwig.
Yeah. Fair enough. I think that's a pretty good number as well. So, yeah.
All right, let's go down the board a little bit. 30s, high 20s. I mean, I don't know why Tommy Fleetwood's priced right here, but he is. I mean, Tommy Fleetwood last week, we both were a little bit high on him, and he had the most Tommy Fleetwood result of all time. T11 did not come close to sniffing the leaders, but he finished T11, and it looks good on paper. So that's Tommy. I mean, he's unbettable. He really, in the outright market, he's unbettable.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was one point, it was either Saturday or Sunday, they put the leaderboard on the screen, and he was like 6th, and I was like,
yeah, that was Sunday.
I was like, oh, I didn't even know he was up here at all. Like, I completely checked out of like what he was doing after Thursday, Friday. It was like, whatever, he's clearly not in this thing at all. And then they throw the leaderboard up, and we talked about this exactly last week. He just pops up on a leader. You're like, oh, I didn't even know. I haven't even seen a shot of Tommy Fleetwood, and he's in the top 6, top 7.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to some guys who have actually won some things and have some decent numbers. Hideki Matsuyama, Russell Henley, Patrick Cantlay, Shane Lowry, Keegan, Sung J M, Sepp Straka, Corey Connors. We'll stop there. A popular range this week for sure. Some of these guys have gotten hammered. If I have to go to one person in this range, I'm buying the drift on PC. Truthfully, that's all it is. Do I think he is a prolific winner? No, but if he's been priced 25 to 1 like basically every single week, now he's 40 to 1. He's not playing bad golf. If you look at the stats, they're spotty. They're not like all green. They're some good weeks, some average weeks, but he has the ability to pop across the board, and he's getting crazy drift. So I'm down for Pat around 40 to 1.
Yeah, definitely buying that. That's a guy that I was on last week. Another one who's kind of crept up, but I think still has some value, and rates out pretty well for me is Sepp Straka. I mean, across the board, all the approach numbers that I'm looking at, all the accuracy, he rates out really well. And like I said, course history is going to be shaky for just about everyone, but he's definitely had a little bit of success here, or at least shown the ability to compete. And I think this is the best version of Sepp Straka that we've seen. He's 100%. Been on the tour for quite a while now. He wasn't the biggest name. He was basically fighting for a tour card his first couple of years, but now he's kind of solidified himself in this range. And I think it's extremely fair at 50-1 for Sepp Straka.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, his number got hammered a little bit, but he's a guy that I was on earlier in the year. Cashed me a nice ticket. And I thought Sepp would have a breakout season going into the year, and I could see that continuing here. Is there anyone else you want to touch out in this range? I don't mind Shane Lowry either. I just think this is a fair number because he's 40-1 here. He's 30-1 and 35-1 and 40-1 in majors. This is obviously a weaker field than a major. So I like that was our reason. That was our rationale for betting him at Pebble. And I know we got him at 70 then, but still, I think Shane's playing really good golf. He was obviously the 36-hole leader last week. This is a golf course that makes sense for him on paper, but the course history is not here. So I like in this range. I like Shane and Cantlett.
Yeah, I think that's about it for me in this range as well. I mean, Berger's obviously tempting, but everyone knows our thoughts on Daniel Berger in this range. So
I don't mind Berger. Like
the number's better.
Yeah. He was like 20-1 when we were joking, but this is much better than that.
Respectable, yes.
All right, so we got some names down here: Corey Connors, Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, Wyndham Clark, Bob Mack, Mav, Michael Kim, generational golfer, Tony Finau. So we'll stop it there, and then we'll get down to the 70s and bombs. So anyone in this range that I know there's some popular guys in this range. I have some takes on a few of them. Who do you like down here?
I would say Mav McNeely and Bob McIntyre.
Okay, I'm so happy you didn't say Michael Kim. So happy.
Yeah, I kind of changed my mind, I guess, after last week. I think I don't know. I think it's fair where he's priced. I'm not going to do it. Fair. I'm not going to be the one to do it, but I think he's earned my respect now to be like, oh, okay, he is actually a decent golfer. I don't know where it came from.
Right. It did come out of nowhere, but I will say I think Michael Kim, I think this is the worst possible bet you can make. Michael Kim at 50-1, absolute peak in pricing in the strongest field of the year, riding an absolute high. He can only go down. He's not going to get any higher than he is right now. Right. So I think he's a good fade opportunity, because he's priced around golfers that are usually in this area. So I think Michael Kim, I mean, he finally has pressure. He's been freewheeling for so long with no pressure. Now he has pressure to play some good golf. He's backing up what he's saying on Twitter. But one bad swing, he's making a 7 around TPC Sawgrass. So I think I'm out on Michael Kim. I think I'm fading Michael Kim. If I have to pick one guy in this range, I like what you said about Bob Mack. But actually, I don't really love this range. So I'll leave it up to you. Anyone else you like down here? Or beyond 70, 80-1.
Let's see here. There's definitely Hovland and Zalatoris and Tom Kim are all tempting in this range, but no, I don't think I can get to anyone. And
Zalatoris one more thing on Michael Kim last week.
One more thing on Michael Kim. I remember, I think it was 2022. If he would have disappeared and never golfed again or got his card back, I don't think anyone would have been shocked. That's how far away we are from the horrible Michael Kim.
Yeah.
He had 3 years in a row. He didn't even finish inside the top 200 in the FedEx Cup.
Real props. He did what he had to do, bucked up, got back on tour. So shout out Michael Kim, but I just think betting him in this field and at this number is, you wait till the Valspar, wait till the JDC when an event like that where he'll be at a more fair price than a 50-1 in the strongest field of the year. So I'm out on Michael Kim. Let's get to some triple digits. Before we get to some triple digits, I got to talk to you really quickly about Edge Boost. An Edge Boost card is a card that will allow you to avoid hassle of your card getting denied at the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstake sweepstakes site or casino. You can earn up to $750 a month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And your money is safe as the card is FDIC insured. The best part is that there's no credit checks and it's completely free. Sign up today. Use the promo code SGPN. You will get instant tier 2 status and cashback. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And then finally, mybookie.ag. We're brought to you by MyBookie. MyBookie is your place to bet every single sport, plus props for every single game. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. MyBookie.ag, promo code GOLF SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code GOLF SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. All right. Triple digits. There's one guy that's really catching my eye, and this is maybe the first time I've been high on him, maybe like ever. Ricky Fowler. Wow. Ricky Fowler. I bet you didn't think I was going to go there. Yeah, so Rick, obviously a winner here before. Not that I'm taking too much into the course history, but I'm taking more into the newfound confidence that he's brought from. Honestly, I think him playing TGL has got his swagger back. I don't think it has anything to do with the golf, but I think it's the confidence and swagger, which Ricky needs. And he played really well at the Honda Classic, looked really well ahead of the Honda Classic. I was high on him going into the week, and he played well. And this is a golf course that asks you very similar questions to PGA National. I'm sorry I called the Honda Classic. You know what I mean? And I think Ricky's pissed that he wasn't in the API field. So I think he's going to come out with some motivation and play some good golf this week at 110 to 1, 100 to 1, wherever you can get.
One guy I haven't been high on in quite a while, Nikolai Højgaard, 225 to 1.
Live favorite.
He rates out extremely well for me, especially the approaches that I'm looking at. And I mean, has a lot of green around him on my model. The last couple of weeks, he hasn't been his last couple attempts hasn't been too bad. He's got back-to-back top 20 finishes on the PGA Tour. So, a guy who has won a couple times on the DP World Tour, has been in contention on the PGA. I feel like this is just really good value for a guy who I'm not sure we've seen his absolute peak yet. Yeah.
No, we haven't. On the PGA Tour, we've seen close to it, but we haven't. I mean, almost won the Masters, won the DP World Tour Championship over every good golfer in the world, has all the talent in the world. Yeah. I will say he's someone I'm very confident that I will be betting. So I was probably going to get there a little bit further down the pod, but that is Nikolai. And another guy I like down here is Ben Griffin, 110 to 1. This is his Super Bowl. This is the Super Bowl of Bermuda grass, and Ben Griffin only cares about Bermuda golf. And that's what we have here. So we're betting him at like 50 to 1, 30 to 1 in some fields. Now we got triple digits. So I'm down on Ben Griffin on one of the only big boy golf courses that he can actually contend it. So I like him down there.
Yeah, and then one other guy down deep in this range is, Joel Damon rates out really well for me.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't think he can win, but I think from a placement perspective, like
I agree,
top 40, I think I'm going to go to Joel.
All right, so let's get over the placements. I'm going to go with one placement. I'm going to go to the top 20 market. I'm going to go with a guy that if you bet top 20 at TPC Sawgrass like every single year, you're retiring. That's Doug Ghim. Doug Ghim is a Sawgrass merchant, loves it here, played great at the PGA National, asks you the very similar style of questions. So Doug Ghim is confident on this golf course. He likes TPC. Not going to question it. So top 20, 3 to 1.
I'm going to do all top 40s, actually. And my first one is going to be Nick Taylor, plus 125.
I like that a lot. I do like that.
I think he sets up pretty well. He's another guy who he's fine in terms of outright. Like we've seen that has a capability to win on the PGA Tour, done it plenty of times, but definitely don't want to bet him outright. So I think I'm going to stick to a top 40 with Nick Taylor.
You have any more positionals or I'm going to go matchup after that?
I would probably just go Højgaard at plus 175. I mean, he is
for top 20 or 40.
Top 40.
That is a generational wealth opportunity. That is truly a generational wealth opportunity.
It is. My only issue with Højgaard is I feel like he's like a miscut or a top 10. So I don't love betting a top 40 on a guy like him. But it's definitely good value at almost 2 to 1.
No, I'm with you there. I like it. I like that.
I think that's about
it.
That. Yeah.
All right. Matchup for me. I'm going to fade what I said. Maverick McNeely -110 to beat Michael Kim, who was the favorite in that matchup. I think it's a great spot. Maverick McNeely has been a more complete golfer. The iron play has been more serious this year than it's ever been in his career, and Maverick played really well here last year. So I think more than anything, I just think Mike Kim takes a little backseat. So I'm going to go Maverick over Mike Kim.
You said Michael Kim's a favorite there?
Michael Kim is -110 to Mavericks -1. Michael Kim is -115, Mavericks 110.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Let's see here. Oh my God, there's a matchup: Zalatoris versus Hovland. What would you do there?
That is crazy. I don't. That's a coin flip because I do not trust either of them in separate ways. Hovland hit it well last week, putt poorly, and so did Zal. Like Zal striped it last week, but I do not trust his putter at all. That's just that's a total pass, truthfully.
I think my matchup would be. God, I just passed it. Hang on. Where was I? Oh, Bob Mack versus Aaron Rai. They're both -110, but I kind of checked out on Aaron Rai there, so I'd definitely go Bob Mack in that spot.
All right, let's get to the outrights. We'll each give each other 3 outrights. Give the people 3 outrights. I'll start. I'll go to the top. I'm going to go to a guy that I've been high on for the last few weeks. I've talked about him. The ball striking has been solid. It's just been the short game that's letting him down, and he's done it on a TPC golf course before. It's Davis Thompson. We're getting triple digits now. Almost won Torrey Pines a few weeks ago. I think it's good value on a talented golfer.
I'm going to stay towards the top of the board, and I'm going to do the bounce back spot and take Colin Morikawa at 14-1.
Okay.
This is a spot where I probably would look into the without Scottie market because
you just don't trust him down the stretch. If it's Scottie versus Colin, I trust Scottie.
I wouldn't mind a solo second for
that
for cash, depending on what the number is. So I'll start out with Colin Morikawa.
All right, and then I will go with a guy I talked about top of the show. Great drift, great number. Patrick Cantlay, 40-1.
Yeah. My next one would be Robert McIntyre at 65-1. Guy who has a pretty complete game. I think he does set up well here. He rates out pretty well for me, so I think we're getting a decent value compared to what we've seen in past weeks at 65-1.
I also would like to say that I like, finally, Tom Kim, 80-1. On a golf course where you have to hit fairways, you have to hit greens. The kid has won a ton. I worry about the putter, but from a pure ball striking standpoint, like he played really well at Pebble Beach where you have to hit fairways and greens. This is a golf course where it asks you to do the same. The putter is a question, but he's 80-1. He's not like he's 12-1 where we've seen him before. So Tom Kim, 80-1.
And I'll go with the guy we just got done talking about a little bit, but Nikolai Hogard, 225-1. His approach numbers just rate out so well for me over recent form. He's had pretty good recent form as well. So obviously has the winning upside, and I think we're going to see one here soon in the next few months or so out of Nikolai Hogard.
Yeah, remember the name if you don't know him. Generational wealth opportunity on him this week for sure. But that wraps it up. Dom, thank you for joining me for the quick show, and good luck to everyone this week. Any questions, you know where to find us, and shoot us a message if you need anything. Peace.
See ya.